Hello, I am Vishal Parikh. Today we will cover topic that is accessing data from database. So in particular we are going to cover today is how we can interact data from relational database management system. Now as we all are aware about relational database management system. So relational database management system, whenever we want to work with our data that is present in our different database servers. So whenever we want to work with our data that is present on different database server, Python provides an interface with a default Python database API. Now this API is working with a wide range of database server. So some of the servers are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, SQLite, Sybase, Informix, etc. So in this particular video, we are going to cover how we can work with MySQL as a database. So now let us move towards what are the operations that we can perform on database. So some of the operations that we can perform are, we can create a database, we can create database table, we can perform insertion of a new record inside our database, we can retrieve the data from our database, we can update the existing record that is present inside our database, and we can delete, or we can say we can drop our records as well as our database from using Python. Now first we will see how we can create a database table. So as we are aware, as we have already studied in database management system while we are working with Oracle database, so the syntax remains normally same. So once your database connection is established, we can create tables, or we can also say it is as record, and we can insert directly, or we can create our tables directly into our database. How we can create it? So for that we have to use execute method. Now you can use this execute method with the help of a cursor. So first let us see what is the syntax of creating a table inside our database. So the syntax is, first we have to use create keyword, then we have to use table as a keyword, then you have to specify your table name, then inside the parenthesis we have to specify a range of columns and its data type. Now whenever we create our table inside our database, we have to mandatorily execute with the help of execute method. Next operation that we can perform over here is insertion operation. So now what is insertion? So insertion means whenever you want to insert a particular record inside your table. So it is possible using Python. How? So the first we need to see what is the syntax. So syntax again remains the same. So what is the syntax? The syntax is, first we have to use is insert keyword, then we have to use into keyword, then we have to specify our table name, then we have to specify a list of columns, then we have to use values keyword, and inside the parenthesis we have to specify our list of values. Now one thing you have to remember when you are passing the values, when you are passing string as a value, you have to enclose it within a single quote, and whenever you are passing numeric, that is integer or a floating point value, it is not necessary to pass within a single quote or within a double quote. Now when you want to perform insert operation, again with the help of execute method we can perform insertion. Next operation comes into picture is we can perform retrieve. Now what do you mean by retrieve? Retrieve means fetching the records from our table which is present inside our database. So how we can do that? For that Python provides here two different methods. So the first method is fetch one. So now what does this method do? It fetches the next row which is present inside your table with the help of a result set. The next method available is fetch all. As the name only suggests, whenever you want to fetch all the records from your table into a result set, we have to use fetch all method. Now next here comes attribute, that is a row count. So whenever you want to check how many records are affected inside your table or inside your database, at that particular time we have to use an attribute which is a row count. Now the conditions for row count is it is a read only attribute. That means we cannot modify it. Now, what does this row count return? So it returns the number of rows that are affected by execute method. Now, how we can retrieve the records? So again, we have to use an SQL query. So we have to use the query that is select star from, we have to specify our table name, and the where clause, which is again an optional thing. Next operation that we can perform over here is an update operation. Now what does this update operation do? For example, if you want to modify your existing data, so whenever you want to modify one or more records that are already available inside your database, at that particular time we have to use update operation. Now what is the syntax? Again, first we have to use this update keyword, then we have to specify table name, then we have to specify the set keyword. Now after set keyword, you have to specify the column name which value you want to modify. That means, for example, if I am having a column that is named as salary, now if I want to change its value, so I have to first use the column name, that is a salary, and then using equal operator I have to specify its value. And then you have to use is a where clause. Where clause means the condition which is to be satisfied by doing this particular update operation. Next operation that we can perform over here is delete operation. Now what is the significance of this delete operation? That means whenever you want to delete your existing records that are present inside your database, it is possible using delete query. So what is the syntax again for delete query is delete from your table name, where you should specify your column name equal to your value. So these are the particular operations that you can perform on your database. So let's start with programming about relational database system. So in this we are going to use is MySQL as a relational database system. So whenever we need to program or we need to connect with a database system in Python, so the first thing we need to do is we need to import that particular relational database server's connection. So here I am going to use is MySQL. So first thing, whenever you perform or whenever you want to perform operations on RDBMS, the first thing you need to do is establish connection. So whenever you want to establish connection, the first thing is you need to import that particular connector. So I want to work with MySQL. So the first thing it will come here is import mysql.connector. These steps will remain common whenever you are working with SQL as a database system. After importing your SQL connector, the second thing you have to do is you have to establish or you have to create a connection. So how can we do that? So inside this connector, we have a method which is named as connect. And inside this connect method, we have to pass three different arguments. So the first thing is your host. That means which server you are going to use. I am going to use the server and the client on my system only. So I have to write here is local host. The second thing we need to pass is our username. So for that the attribute is user, and by default the username is root whenever we are working with MySQL, and the password is blank. So what it will do, it will establish your connection. Now whenever you have imported your connector file, you have established the connection, then next thing you have to do is you have to create your database. So before creating your database, you have to create a cursor, because with the help of cursor only we can do each and everything in our database system. So how can we get this cursor method? So because first what we have done, we have established our connection. So I have stored it in a variable that is mydb. So now this connection object is having a method which is named as cursor. So what it will do, it will return your cursor object. Now whenever you want to create a database, so we have to use a syntax that is create database, then you have to specify your database name. Now whenever you create your database, we have to use this execute method. Why? Because whenever you will write this query will be executed by this method which is named as execute. and this execute method will work only with your cursor object. So what I have done, I have created a database which is named as data science. So let me show you my local host. So here is our local host. Now you can see here is your list of databases that are available in your system. Now you can see here there is no database which is named as data science. So whenever you want to create a database, so the syntax is create database name. So what it will do, it will create a database on your local server. Now if you want to see how many databases are available in your system, so for that we have a query which is named as show databases. So what it will do, it will give you a list of all the databases that are present in your local host. So what I have done, I have printed all the databases that are available and I have created a database which is named as data science. So let us execute this. So now what you have done, here you can see I have written is print. So what it is showing you, whether your connection is established or not. Now here I have written a query, so it will create a database which is named as data science. So whenever you will go into your local host and whenever you will refresh it, so I am refreshing it, now you can see here is your database which is named as data science. So whenever you will click on it, it will show you that no tables are found. As we know, we can create table inside our database. So now our next task will be to create table inside this particular database. So how can we create a table? So for creating a table, just we need to write the syntax of table. So what is the syntax of table? So syntax of table is create, then we have to use table keyword, then we have to give name of our table. So for example, I am giving my table name as customers, and inside this I want to have two different columns. So the first column is name and the data type for this particular field is varchar, and I have specified the size. So the maximum upper limit size is 255, and the second field that I want is address and the data type is varchar, and the maximum upper limit I have specified is 255. So what this will do, it will create a table inside your database. Now here you see we haven't specified the database, but whenever you want to create a table, so you have to specify again an attribute which is named as database, and inside this we have to specify the name of our database. So let us run this. So whenever you will run this, it is not showing you output over here, but the changes will be reflected in your local host. So whenever I will refresh it, so it will show you a table which is named as customer. Now we have added two fields. So how can I see it? Just click on this table. So whenever you will click on this table, click on structure. So whenever you will click on structure, it will show you the field name, that is name, the data type is varchar, the second field is address, and the data type is varchar. Now what we have done, we have created a database, we have created a table. Now let us insert record inside this particular table. So what will be the syntax? The first thing we have to do is we have to use SQL connector, then we need to connect to our database. So there will be 4 different parameters. The first will be your server, that is localhost, then your username, then your password, and the fourth field is your database. Now next thing you need to have is your cursor object. So how can we get cursor object? So we need to have a cursor method on your database object. Now I am inserting 2 records inside this particular table which is named as customers. So what is the query? Insert into your table name. So my table name is customers. Then field name, that is name, address, and I am specifying the values. So the first name is Jack and the address is California, United States. The second record that I want to insert is having the name as Matthews and the address is Toronto, Canada. So whenever you want to execute this query, again we have to write execute method. So this execute method will depend on the number of times you have written the query. So here I have written 2 times query, so I have to write 2 times execute method. And inside this I am specifying my query variable. So the first is SQL1 and second is SQL. Now one thing you need to remember, that whenever you want to insert a record inside your database, so you have to mandatorily use the commit method. So if you don't commit it, it won't get reflected in your database. So for that, in order to reflect in our database, I have to use a commit method. Now I want to see how many records are reflected in my table. So if you recall, we have studied an attribute which is named as row count. So what this row count attribute will return? It will return the number of rows that are affected whenever you are firing a particular query. So let us run this. So you can see here it has returned that one record inserted, but actually it will be executing and storing 2 different records. So let us check it over here. So whenever I will click on browse, it will show me 2 different records. Why? Because we have fired 2 insert queries. And after that we are showing here is a commit method. So how many times the commit has reflected? That is 1 time. Using 1 time I have inserted 2 different records. Now next operation that we will perform is retrieving records from our table. So again the syntax will remain the same. Instead of insert, we have to just write the query that is for select. What I want to do, I want to retrieve all the records that are present inside my table which is named as customers. So what will be the query? That is select star from customers. Now when we have studied in theoretical perspective, we have seen 2 different methods. The first one was fetch one and the second was fetch all. So if you recall, fetch all will retrieve all the records inside a variable which is named as result set. So again I have given it a name as result set. Now what I am doing, I am iterating my result set to print all the records. So let us check this. So here you can see it has returned 2 rows because we are having 2 rows over here. The first is Jack, California, Matthews, Toronto. Now what I want to do, I want to delete a particular record from my database. So how can I do this? So for that we have to use delete query. So what will be the query? That is delete from your table name. So my table name is customer. Then we have to specify which record I want to delete. For example, I want to delete the entire record where the name is Jack. So I have specified the condition, that is name is equal to Jack. Then again I have executed this query. Again, whenever you are performing insert, update or delete operation, mandatorily you have to commit. If you don't commit it, the changes will not be reflected in your database. Then I have used an attribute that is row count. Why? Because I want to see how many records are deleted from my table. So let us run this. So here you can see it is showing 1 record has been deleted. Now let us check whether it has been deleted from our table or not. So let me refresh this. So now you can see it is showing you only 1 record, that is of Matthews. Now we are going to perform the last operation, that is how can we update a particular record which is present inside our database. So for that we have to write the query of update, that is update. Then I have to specify my table name, that is customers. Then I have to specify an attribute, that is which column I want to change. For example, here you are able to see the address is Toronto, Canada, but now instead of Toronto I want to write Montreal. So what I have done, I have specified the column name, that is address, and I have specified the new value. So what new value I want to store is Montreal, Canada. And when I want to update where the name is Matthews. So what it will do, it will check how many names are there of Matthews at that particular time. It will change its address to Montreal, Canada. Then I want to execute this particular query. So for that I have to use execute method, and to reflect into my table I have used commit method. Then I have used the attribute that is row count. So what it will do, it will show you how many row records that have been updated after firing this query. So let us run this. So it is showing you that one record has been affected. So let us check in our database. So let me refresh it. So now you can see here the address has changed from Toronto to Montreal. So how many operations we have done? Here is, we have done insert, then we have done is retrieval, deletion of a record, updation of a record. That's all about your relational database using MySQL. Thank you.